in the world? Oh, hi. My name is Mike, and this is a bike. This particular bike is a 2014 Victory Crossroads. Belongs to a friend of mine named Merlin. And I'm going to turn this I'm going to turn this motorcycle into a Corvette. A 1993 40th anniversary Corvette, to be specific. Now, you might be asking, how can I turn a motorcycle into a Corvette? Well, it's not what you think. No, actually, Merlin's bike needs a bunch of repairs, needs some engine repair, fork seals, tire, whole bunch of stuff. So in exchange for working on his bike, I'm trading towards a 1993 Corvette that has a blown head gasket. In other words, I'm going to give him a perfectly good operating motorcycle and take something that doesn't work in exchange. Sounds about par for the course, but it is a Corvette. So anyway, if you want to see if I can actually pull this off, stick around.
Somewhere in a dusty, dirty back alley in western Arizona, not far from historic Route 66, is an old fart trying to cram a square peg into a round hole. He'll work on anything, just as long as it's got at least 2 cool wheels.
Yeah, see, he had this terrible tick, 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 tick in the valve train, and I got the cam holder and the rockers and lifters off. This little guy here is the lifter. It's built into the rocker arm, and these have been known on occasion to collapse, but of course now that I'm looking at them, well, they're all perfectly fine. None of them are collapsed. So I'm kind of at a loss. What I'll probably do is, this bike's got 120,000 miles on it. What I'll probably do, there's one online I can get for about $100. It's got lesser miles and less wear. I mean, it's not wearing bad. Cams look pretty normal. But if I shotgun this whole thing, maybe I'll solve the problem. But maybe not. I guess it's a $100 gamble I'm willing to take because I cannot get these lifters stacked up now. Well, we'll order some parts and see what happens. Okay, I had ordered the part, it arrived, and we've got it installed in the engine. So we now have a new, used camshaft with rockers and lifters. It's got about half the miles that this engine has on it, so it's not new, but it's in really good condition. Now, when I called my buddy Merlin to let him know that I'd ordered the parts that I needed to fix his bike, he just happened to casually mention that, oh, by the way, the oil pressure light comes on occasionally. That would have been helpful information while I was trying to figure out what the ticking noise was. See, it could be that there's nothing wrong with the rollers, rocker shafts, and lifters that I replaced. And it could just simply be a case of low oil pressure causing them to collapse and click. So, we're going to find out if the oil pressure light is just coincidentally a bad oil pressure sending unit, or if I actually truly have low oil pressure. That would be good information to have at the onset. It could be coincidence. It's possible we could have both a bad sending unit and a collapsed lifter. Now, something else I observed while working on the bike, pulled his dipstick out, and it was way overfilled with oil. It's a common mistake on the Victory. See, you're supposed to check the oil level when the bike is upright. If you check it when it's on its side, it's going to look low, and you're going to add oil. You're going to end up with too much oil. So that could explain my problem. If the engine is spinning and churning the oil, it turns it into foam. And foam, well, foam doesn't compress real well, and you might see a drop in oil pressure. And if I'm sending air bubbles to my lifters, well, they're not going to stay pumped up, are they? Anyway, we're going to find out. I'm going to put an oil pressure gauge on it. I'm going to run it. I'm going to see what kind of oil pressure I have, and then I'm going to bring the oil level to where it's supposed to be and see if it makes any difference. So that's the plan. Alrighty, let's see what kind of oil pressure she creates. Contact. Oh, gotta put the gas tank on it. Dumb shit. Alrighty, let's fire this thing up and see what kind of oil pressure we've got. Contact. There's a little lifting noise. But it's showing 75 psi. So far, so good. Our valve train noise has been eliminated. We've identified that we had a bad oil pressure sealing unit. That was just replaced. So I got to reattach the frame, so, it can ride and stuff. And then we'll address the forks and the front tires. But one thing I do want to do, while I've got the gas tank back off, I want to service that air filter. That was one of Victory's mistakes. They put the air filter on these things into the gas tank. They did it on several models. So some models you got to take the tank off, some you don't. Some have a slide out. This particular model, tank's got to come off. So we'll get that cleaned up real good for them before we throw the tank back on it and start bolting stuff back up. Yeah, it's just held in by 2 screws here. It slides out. We'll blow all the dust and cobwebs and rodents out of it, and then we'll put our tank back on. Well, first we got to reconnect the frame, and then we'll put the tank back on. I'm coming up on Merlin's place, and there's the Corvette. I'm going to pick Merlin up and take him back to my place where he can pick up his bike. So look for this vet in upcoming videos. Well, sir, how you doing?
Good.
Well, that's going to conclude this video. Merlin was very happy with his bike. He rode it home. He said it ran great, no more weird noises from the engine, stopped good, steered, you know, all the good stuff. And he loves that bike. He's been riding it for years. He tows a little trailer with it, and so he's back to living large on his Victory motorcycle. Now, all total, I spent, what was that the cam carrier was like 90 bucks. There was another 30 bucks in gaskets that I had to replace. Oil sending, it was another 30 bucks, another 15 bucks for an oil filter. Fork seals were another 40. Fork oil was, I don't remember how much for the fork oil. I don't remember how much for the motor oil. You know, oil ain't cheap. And so all total said and done, I just gave him an estimate of 850 bucks for everything, including all the parts, including my labor, and he was pretty happy with that. Now, see, he tried to sell that Corvette with the blown head gasket for $1,000. And I said, well, look, I did all that stuff. You owe me $850 for the repairs on the Victory, and I will come up with another 150 bucks. I'll give you the $1,000 for the Corvette. And he said, you know what, you did such a good job on my bike, I'm going to tip you 150 bucks. That's pretty cool. So that means Victory repairs, Corvette, straight swap. That's a pretty good deal. And now I got another project that I don't really need. Anyway, if you want to see if I can get that Corvette here even, because, you know, it doesn't drive, then stick around for the next episode. It's not going to fit on my trailer. I got to somehow figure out a way to get it here where I can work on it. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the little clicky things, let your friends know, and, you know, help me grow my channel. And come on back for the Corvette video. I gotta squeeze that Corvette in here somewhere. Anybody got a really huge shoehorn, perchance?